Good day, children. For today's lesson, we are going to discuss singular plural form of verbs. The singular and plural form of the verb indicate the present tense of the verb. Singular verbs for singular subject of the sentence. It means that if the subject is singular, the verb must also be singular. Here are the rules on how to form a singular verb. Rule number 1. For regular and irregular verbs, add s or es to the base form of the verb. In this rule, if the verb is regular or irregular, what you are going to do is you just add s or es to the base form of the verb. We have here examples. For the base form of the verb, we have here the verb plant, water, book, check, box. And for the singular form of the verb, we have here plants, waters, books, checks, boxes. As you can see, to form the singular form of the verb, this is the base form. We add s to the base form to form the singular form of the verb. And in our last example, box, we add es. Remember, class, that if the verb ends with x, always add es to the end of the verb. Don't add s because it is wrong. We have here example. Now, let us study those example. For example number 1, Janine plants the rose in the garden. Our subject is Janine. This is our subject or the noun. And this is singular. And this one is the verb. And this verb is in a singular form of the verb. As we said a while ago, those verb ending with s or with s, those are singular in a singular form of verb. And singular verb fits in a singular noun. Let us now move to the second example. Jamie waters the plants every day. Jamie is our subject or the noun. And Jamie is singular. The verb we use is the verb or the word waters. As you can see, there's also s at the end of the verb. We said that the verb ending or the verb with s are in a singular form of the verb. And singular form of the verb fits with a singular noun. Now, let us now move to the third example. I book a flight to Cebu. As you notice in this example, the singular noun is I. I is also a singular noun. But our verb or the verb we use is in a plural form. It is plural form because it is without s or it is not ends with s. as I've said a while ago, there is an exception, and the singular noun I is the exception to the rule because the singular noun I is always, or we always use a plural form of the verb. Don't use singular form of the verb because it is wrong. Is that clear, class? Very good. For our second rule, for the verb that end in Y but preceded by a consonant, change Y to I before adding ES. Examples. For the base form of the verb, we have here rely, spy, try, pity, unify. For the singular form of the verb, we have here relies, spies, tries, pities, unify. In this rule, if the verb is ending in Y, for first example, we have here the rely, and it is end with Y, but preceded by a consonant. This is the consonant L. What you are going to do is change Y into I before you add ES. For the word or for the verb rely, you change Y into I, then add ES. For our second example, spy. This is also ends in Y and preceded by a consonant P. Again, change Y into I, then add ES. So as the verb try. This is ending in Y and preceded by a consonant R. So, change Y into I, then add ES. Another, pity. It is also ending with Y and preceded by a consonant letter T. So, change Y into I, then add ES. Unify. It also ends with Y preceded by a consonant letter. So, change Y into I, then add ES. Let us now study the following example. For example number 1, the student relies. The student relies on explanation of the teacher. Student is our noun, and this is in a singular form. And the verb we use is relies. And this is also in a singular form of the verb. We said that if the verb ends in S or ES, it is in a singular form of the verb. Next example, Joanne tries to catch some sleep. Joanne is in a singular noun. And tries, this is our verb, and this is also in a singular form of the verb. Another, Joyce pities the little girl outside her bedroom window. Joy is our singular noun, and the verb we use is also singular form of the verb. Another, President Duterte unifies the country. President Duterte is our noun. This is the noun or the doer of the action. And this is singular noun. The verb we use is unifies. Unify is in a singular form of the verb. Always remember, class, that if the subject is singular, if the subject or the noun or the doer of the action is singular, the verb must also be singular. Now let's move to the third rule. Plural verb are used for plural subject of the sentence. The plural form of the verb takes its base form. Example, base form of the verb we have here target, inform, decide, pursue, invent. For our singular form of the verb we have here target, inform, decide, pursue, and invent. In this rule, if the verb is plural, this is also used for a plural subject. Always remember, class, that if the subject is in a plural form, your verb must also in a plural verb. Let us now study the following example. We have here the example sentence for number 1. The policeman target the suspect who went north. Number 2. My friends inform me of the schedule of the examinations. Number 3. We decide on every issues after each meeting. Number 4. Group 1 and Group 2 invent robots for exhibition. In our example number 1, policeman is our noun or the doer of the action. And policeman is in a plural form of noun. And the verb we use is the verb target. As we said a while ago, the verb that is without s is in a plural form of the verb. Number 2, friends is the noun or the doer of the action and it is plural. And the verb we use is the verb inform, as you notice, without s again, and this is in a plural form of the verb. For number 3, the noun is we, and this is in a plural form of the verb, and this is the doer of the action. We is the doer of the action, and this is plural noun. And we use the verb decide, and this is also in a plural form of the verb. For number 4, Group 1 and Group 2 is the doer of the action, or this is our noun, and this is in a plural form of the noun. And the verb we use is the verb invent. As you notice, the verb is without s, so it is in a plural form of the verb. In this rule, in the third rule, class, always remember that if the verb is plural, the noun must also be plural. Again, if the noun or the doer of the action is plural, the verb must also be plural. Is that clear, class? Very good. That's all for today, class. I hope you understand our lesson. Good day and God bless everyone.